In a quaint little town, nestled between bustling streets and towering skyscrapers, there was a small bakery called the Cozy Corner. Owned by a kind-hearted woman named Lon, the bakery was known for its delicious bread and warm atmosphere. Every morning, the smell of freshly baked goods wafted through the air, attracting locals who sought comfort in Lan's homemade treats. One rainy afternoon, as the clouds hung low and the streets glistened with droplets, a well-dressed man named David walked into the bakery. He wore a simple coat and a worn-out hat pulled low over his brow, trying to mask his identity. David was a billionaire, but today, he wanted to experience life from a different perspective. He had heard about the warm-heartedness of the bakery's owner and wanted to test the kindness of strangers. As David entered, the bell above the door chimed softly. Lon looked up from behind the counter, her hands dusted with flour. She greeted him with a warm smile, her eyes sparkling with genuine warmth. "Welcome to the Cozy Corner. How can I help you today?" David glanced around the charming little shop, taking in the cozy atmosphere. "I'm just passing through and could really use a bite to eat. But I don't have much money on me," he said, his voice humble. Without hesitation, Lon leaned forward, her expression sympathetic. "Don't worry. We all have tough days. How about a fresh loaf of bread and a cup of coffee?" "On the house." David was taken aback by her kindness. "Are you sure? I really don't want to impose." "Not at all. It's my pleasure," Lon insisted, her smile unwavering. She quickly prepared a steaming cup of coffee and a warm loaf of bread, placing them on the counter before him. As David sat down at a small table, he couldn't help but admire the simplicity of the bakery. It was filled with the laughter of children, the chatter of friends, and the comforting aroma of baked goods. He took a moment to savor the warmth of the bread and the rich taste of the coffee, feeling a sense of belonging he hadn't experienced in years. Throughout the afternoon, he observed Lon as she greeted customers, baked, and interacted with everyone who walked through the door. Her genuine kindness and dedication to her work were evident, and David found himself inspired by her passion. After spending a few hours in the bakery, he approached Lon again, who was busy arranging pastries in the display case. "I really appreciate your generosity," he said, his heart swelling with gratitude. "You have such a beautiful shop here. How do you manage to keep it running?" Lon smiled modestly. "It's not easy, but I love what I do. I believe that food has the power to bring people together, and I want to create a space where everyone feels welcome." David was moved by her words. Here was a woman who cared deeply for her community, putting her heart and soul into her work without seeking anything in return. He felt a spark of an idea forming in his mind. Before he left, David introduced himself, still maintaining a casual demeanor. "I'm David. Just a guy who appreciates a good meal and a kind heart." Lon nodded, still unaware of his true identity. "Nice to meet you, David. I hope you come back again." As he stepped out of the cozy corner, David felt a mix of emotions. He had come to test the kindness of a stranger, but instead, he had found inspiration. The experience had awakened a desire in him to give back, to support those who brought joy and warmth to the world. In the following weeks, David couldn't shake the memory of Lon and her bakery. He thought about her dedication and how much joy she brought to her customers. After careful consideration, he decided to reach out and offer his help. He wanted to invest in her business, but he needed to approach it in a way that would respect her values and vision. One sunny morning, David returned to the cozy corner, this time dressed more casually. He walked in, and Lon greeted him with her usual warmth. "David. It's so good to see you again." "Good to be back, Lon. I've been thinking about what you said last time," he began, taking a seat at the same table he had occupied during his last visit. "Your passion for this bakery is incredible, and I wanted to discuss how I might be able to help." Lon looked intrigued but cautious. "Help? What do you mean?" David took a deep breath. "I have the resources to help expand your bakery, to make it even more of a community hub. I want to invest in your vision, to see the cozy corner grow and reach more people." Lan's eyes widened in disbelief. But why would you want to do that? I appreciate your offer, but I don't think I could take your money. David smiled gently. It's not just about the money. It's about supporting someone who truly makes a difference in their community. I see how you care for your customers and how much joy you bring. This could be a way to share that joy with even more people. She hesitated, torn between her pride and the possibility of expanding her dream. I'm grateful for your offer, but I've always managed on my own. I don't want to change what makes this place special. David leaned forward, understanding her hesitation. You don't have to change anything about your bakery. The heart of the cozy corner can remain the same. We can simply build on that foundation. Imagine more space for customers, a larger kitchen to create new recipes, or even community events that bring everyone together. Lon considered his words, envisioning the possibilities. Her heart raced at the thought of expanding her bakery, but the fear of losing her connection to the community loomed large. What if it changes everything? She asked softly. David shook his head. It won't change who you are or what this bakery means to you. It will enhance it. You'll still be the same Lon, creating joy through your baked goods. After a long pause, Lon finally agreed to meet with David again, this time to discuss the details of his proposal. Over the next few weeks, they worked closely together, with David guiding her through the process of expansion while always respecting her vision. As they collaborated, Lon discovered David's genuine passion for supporting small businesses. He shared stories of how he had built his own empire from the ground up, emphasizing the importance of staying true to one's values. Lon began to see David not just as a businessman, but as a friend and ally. Soon, plans for the cozy corner began to take shape. They discussed new menu items, community events, and even the possibility of offering cooking classes. With David's investment, Lan's dream started to turn into reality. Months later, the grand reopening of the cozy corner was a much-anticipated event. The bakery had been beautifully renovated, with more seating, a larger kitchen, and a cozy outdoor area adorned with fairy lights. Lon felt a mix of excitement and nerves as she prepared for the big day. On the day of the reopening, the bakery was packed with familiar faces and new customers alike. Lon greeted everyone with her radiant smile, feeling the love and support from the community. David stood at the back, watching with pride as Lon flourished in her role. Thank you all for being here, Lon said, her voice filled with emotion. This bakery is a labor of love, and I'm grateful for the support you've shown me over the years. With this new space, I hope to create even more memories together. The crowd erupted in cheers, and David felt a warmth in his heart. He had witnessed the transformation of not just a bakery, but a community hub where people came together to share joy, laughter, and love. As the night wore on, Lon took a moment to speak with David, her eyes shining with gratitude. I can't believe how far we've come. Thank you for believing in me and my dream. I couldn't have done this without your support. David smiled, knowing that this was just the beginning. You did this, Lon. Your kindness and dedication are what made the cozy corner special. I simply provided a little push. From that day forward, the cozy corner became a beloved landmark in the town, hosting community events, baking classes, and charity drives. Lan's heart swelled with pride each time she walked through the doors, knowing that she had created a space where people felt welcome and loved. And as for David, he continued to support Lon in her bakery, forging a friendship that went beyond business. Together, they made a difference in the community, proving that a small shop with a big heart could change lives, one loaf of bread and cup of coffee at a time. As the cozy corner continued to thrive, Lon found herself reflecting on the journey that had brought her to this point. The bakery had transformed into not just a place for baked goods but a community hub where connections were forged and memories were made. Every morning, she welcomed familiar faces, while new customers arrived, drawn in by the warmth and the delightful aroma of her creations. One sunny afternoon, as she was preparing for the upcoming weekend market, a young girl named Mia entered the bakery. She was timid but curious, her eyes wide as she took in the colorful display of pastries. Lon greeted her with a smile, sensing the girl's hesitation. welcome to the Cozy Corner. What can I get for you today? Lon asked, kneeling down to Mia's level. I want to try baking, Mia whispered, glancing shyly at the rows of cookies and cakes. But I don't know how. Lan's heart warmed at the girl's honesty. Baking is a wonderful way to express yourself. How about you join one of our baking classes? We have a special session for kids this weekend. Mia's face lit up. Really? I can learn to bake? Absolutely. We'll have fun, and you can take home some treats to share with your family, Lon replied. That evening, after the last customers had left, Lon sat down with David to discuss their next community initiative. I want to start a series of baking classes for kids, she said, her excitement bubbling over. It could inspire a new generation of bakers, just like Mia. David nodded, already envisioning how this could strengthen community ties. That's a brilliant idea, Lon. We could even tie it into a charity event. Perhaps we can host a bake sale with the kids' creations to raise funds for a local cause. Lan's eyes sparkled at the thought. Yes. We could support a local shelter or food bank. It would teach the kids not just about baking but also the importance of giving back. As they planned the details, word spread quickly through the community. The first baking class was fully booked within days, and excitement buzzed among the children and their parents. On the day of the class, Lon set up the bakery with colorful aprons and ingredients laid out in neat rows. Mia arrived early, her enthusiasm infectious. Lon welcomed her with a warm hug. Are you ready to bake some magic? She asked, ruffling the girl's hair. As the class began, Lon guided the children through the process of making chocolate chip cookies. She emphasized the importance of measuring ingredients carefully, mixing with love, and most importantly, having fun. Laughter filled the bakery as flour flew, and chocolate chips were tossed in every direction. As the cookies baked, the children shared stories and ideas about what they wanted to create next. Lon encouraged their creativity, suggesting they could design cupcakes or explore healthier snack options. At the end of the class, the cookies emerged golden and delicious. The kids cheered, and Lon organized a small tasting session. Mia's eyes sparkled with pride as she took a bite of her creation, her joy radiating throughout the room. After the class, Lon gathered the children for a discussion about their upcoming bake sale. We want to make a difference with our baking, she explained. Who has ideas for what we should make to sell? Hands shot up in excitement, and the kids brainstormed a variety of treats, from colorful cupcakes to festive cookies decorated with icing. They settled on a diverse menu that represented everyone's favorite flavors. Over the next few weeks, the bakery became a hub of activity as Lon and the children prepared for the bake sale. David helped promote the event, reaching out to local businesses and media outlets. The community buzzed with anticipation, eager to support the young bakers and their cause. On the day of the bake sale, the sun shone brightly, and the streets were alive with energy. The Cozy Corner set up a booth filled with the children's baked goods, beautifully arranged and ready for sale. Lon stood proudly beside the young bakers, her heart swelling with pride as they greeted customers with enthusiasm. The event was a tremendous success, drawing in crowds from all around town. People admired the creativity of the children's baked goods, and many returned for seconds, eager to support the cause. As they sold out, the children cheered, their faces beaming with accomplishment. At the end of the day, they gathered together to count the money raised. Lan's eyes glistened with tears of joy as the total amount was announced, enough to make a meaningful donation to the local shelter. You did this, each and every one of you, she exclaimed, wrapping her arms around the children. Mia spoke up, her voice filled with pride. Can we do this again? I want to keep baking and helping. Lon nodded enthusiastically. Absolutely. This is just the beginning. We'll continue to learn and give back together. As the weeks turned into months, the baking classes flourished, and the Cozy Corner became a beacon of hope and inspiration in the community. Parents began to share stories of how their children had gained confidence and creativity through baking. Lon also noticed that her own passion had grown stronger as she witnessed the joy of sharing her love for baking with the younger generation. David remained a steadfast partner in this journey, always supporting Lan's initiatives and celebrating the successes of the bakery. They brainstormed new ideas, from holiday-themed baking classes to collaborative projects with local schools. One day, as they sat down to review the latest classes, Lon mentioned a new idea she had been pondering. What if we started a scholarship program for children interested in culinary arts? We could provide funds for those who want to pursue their passion further. David's eyes lit up. That's a fantastic idea. We could reach out to local culinary schools and create partnerships to support these students. Excitement buzzed in the air as they discussed the possibilities. They decided to launch the scholarship during their annual community festival, where they would highlight the talents of the young bakers and encourage everyone to support their dreams. The festival day arrived, and the community gathered to celebrate. The cozy corner had transformed into a vibrant fairground, with stalls showcasing local talent, including music, art, and of course, delicious baked goods. Children from the baking classes set up their own booths, proudly displaying their creations. As the festivities unfolded, Lon took the stage to share her vision for the scholarship program. Today, we celebrate not only our love for baking but also the dreams of young chefs who want to make a difference, she said, her voice ringing with emotion. This scholarship is our way of nurturing those dreams and providing opportunities for the future. Cheers erupted from the crowd, and Lon felt overwhelmed with gratitude. She had built something beautiful, a community rooted in kindness, creativity, and support. After the festival, as the sun set on another successful day, Lon reflected on how far they had come. What started as a small bakery with a big heart had blossomed into a vital part of the community, impacting lives in ways she had never imagined. With David by her side and the support of the community, Lon felt confident that the cozy corner would continue to thrive, inspiring kindness, creativity, and connection for years to come. The journey had just begun, and she was excited to see where it would lead next. As the weeks turned into months, the cozy corner continued to evolve into a thriving hub of creativity and community spirit. The scholarship program gained traction, attracting attention from local schools and culinary institutes. Students began applying, each sharing their unique stories and aspirations, and Lon was moved by the passion and determination she encountered. One afternoon, as she sorted through applications, she came across a letter from a boy named Min. He wrote about his dreams of becoming a pastry chef, inspired by watching his grandmother bake traditional Vietnamese desserts. His heartfelt words resonated with Lon, and she decided that Min would be one of the first recipients of the scholarship. The day of the scholarship announcement arrived, and Lon organized a small ceremony at the cozy corner. She invited all the young bakers who had participated in the baking classes, along with their families. As they gathered, excitement filled the air, and the aroma of freshly baked goods wafted through the bakery. Standing in front of the crowd, Lon felt a mix of nervousness and excitement. "Thank you all for being here today," she began, her heart swelling with pride. "This scholarship program is a celebration of your hard work, creativity, and passion for baking. Today, we recognize two incredible students who have shown exceptional dedication." As she announced Min's name, the crowd erupted in applause. Lon invited him to the front, where he stood beaming with pride. "Thank you, Lon. This means so much to me," he said, his voice trembling with emotion. Lon continued, "Our second scholarship recipient is a young girl named Han, who has a talent for creating beautiful and innovative cakes." Han's face lit up as she joined Min at the front. The two shared a joyful moment, excited for the opportunities that lay ahead. After the ceremony, Lon invited everyone to sample the special pastries Min and Han had prepared for the occasion. The treats were a delightful blend of traditional and modern flavors, showcasing their creativity and passion. As people tasted the sweets, they praised the young bakers for their talent, and Lon felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. Inspired by the success of the scholarship program, Lon and David brainstormed ways to expand their community outreach. They organized a series of workshops where local chefs could come in and share their expertise with the kids. The workshops included everything from bread making to cake decorating, providing the children with diverse culinary experiences. With each passing month, the community spirit grew stronger. Families began to see the Cozy Corner not just as a bakery, but as a gathering place where they could connect, learn, and support one another. Lon loved hearing stories of friendships forming among the children, some of whom were now collaborating on baking projects outside of class. One day, as the bakery buzzed with activity, Lon noticed a mother and her young daughter sitting at a corner table. They were sharing a cupcake, and the little girl was animatedly describing her favorite flavors. Lon felt a surge of warmth as she realized how the bakery had become a place for families to bond and create cherished memories. As the holiday season approached, Lon decided to organize a charity event called Baking for a Cause. The goal was to raise funds for local families in need by selling special holiday treats. The children from her baking classes were eager to participate, each excitedly brainstorming ideas for festive creations. The event quickly gained popularity, and the community rallied around the cause. Local businesses contributed by donating supplies, and volunteers came together to help with preparations. As the day drew closer, Lon could feel the excitement building. On the day of the event, the Cozy Corner was transformed into a winter wonderland, adorned with twinkling lights and colorful decorations. Families arrived to enjoy a day filled with fun activities, including cookie decorating, a hot cocoa station, and a photo booth with festive props. Lon felt a wave of gratitude as she watched the children bustling about, laughing and spreading joy. The bake sale was a hit, with all the treats selling out within hours. As the final tally was counted, Lan's heart swelled with pride. Together, they had raised a significant amount for families in need. At the end of the day, as she stood at the front of the bakery, Lon thanked everyone for their support. "This event is a testament to the incredible spirit of our community," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "Together, we've made a difference, and I'm grateful to each and every one of you." David stood beside her, beaming with pride. "What you've built here, Lon, goes beyond baking. You've created a community that cares and supports one another. It's truly inspiring." With the holidays in full swing, Lon decided to host a special holiday baking class. This time, she invited families to join in, encouraging parents and children to bond over the joy of baking. The class filled up quickly, and soon the bakery was buzzing with laughter and excitement as families mixed, rolled, and decorated cookies together. During one of the classes, a father approached Lon, sharing how much the experience meant to him. "I've been so busy with work, and I never realized how much I missed spending quality time with my daughter. Thank you for creating this opportunity." Lan's heart warmed at his words. She understood the importance of connection and knew that the Cozy Corner was fulfilling a deeper purpose in people's lives. It wasn't just about baking, it was about creating a space where memories were made, and relationships were nurtured. As the new year approached, Lon and David sat down to reflect on the past year. The bakery had grown beyond their expectations, and the scholarship program had opened doors for many aspiring bakers. Lon shared her hopes for the coming year, expressing a desire to expand the scholarship program to include internships at local culinary schools. David nodded enthusiastically. "Let's also consider creating an annual baking competition for kids. It could showcase their skills and creativity while raising funds for local charities." Lan's eyes sparkled with excitement. "That's a brilliant idea. It would encourage the children to challenge themselves and think outside the box." They spent the next few weeks planning the competition, determined to make it a memorable event that would inspire and uplift the community. As the launch date approached, Lon could feel the excitement building once again. When the day of the competition finally arrived, the Cozy Corner buzzed with energy. Families gathered to support the young bakers, each eager to see the incredible creations that would be displayed. Lon felt a surge of pride as she watched the children work diligently, pouring their hearts into their entries. The competition featured different categories, from creative cakes to themed pastries, and each young baker showcased their unique talents. As the judges, including local chefs and previous scholarship recipients, made their rounds, the atmosphere was filled with anticipation. When the time came for the winners to be announced, Lon stood before the crowd, her heart racing with excitement. Today, we celebrate not just the winners, but the creativity and passion of every young baker who participated. You all inspire us." As the winners were announced and cheers erupted, Lon felt a wave of emotion. This was what the Cozy Corner was all about: nurturing dreams, fostering connections, and building a community of support. In the months that followed, the annual baking competition became a cherished tradition, drawing in more participants and spectators each year. Lon and David watched as the bakery continued to flourish, impacting the lives of countless individuals. Through it all, Lon never lost sight of the values that had guided her from the beginning: kindness, generosity, and the belief that food could bring people together. As she looked back on the journey, she knew that every step had led her to this beautiful place, where a small shop with a big heart had changed not just her life, but the lives of so many in the community. And so, the Cozy Corner stood as a testament to the power of love, creativity, and connection, a place where every loaf of bread and every cupcake told a story, and every person who walked through the door felt a little more at home. As the years rolled on, the Cozy Corner became more than just a bakery. It transformed into a beloved institution in the community. Lan's passion for baking and her commitment to helping others inspired countless individuals, fostering a sense of belonging that spread beyond the walls of the shop. The scholarship program flourished, and many of the recipients returned to share their experiences with the younger generation. Min, who had now completed his culinary studies, began mentoring the new scholarship winners. He often brought in his own creations, sharing techniques and encouraging the kids to experiment with flavors and presentations. One afternoon, as Lon prepared for a busy weekend, she overheard a group of children excitedly discussing their plans for a new baking challenge inspired by Min's guidance. They spoke about creating a cultural baking day, where they would showcase recipes from their diverse backgrounds. Lan's heart swelled with pride as she realized how the bakery had become a platform for cultural exchange and celebration. On the day of the event, the Cozy Corner was alive with energy. Children donned aprons representing their heritage, each preparing traditional dishes that told their family stories. The smell of cinnamon, coconut, and jasmine filled the air as they mixed, rolled, and baked with enthusiasm. Lon walked around the bakery, offering encouragement and tips, her heart full as she witnessed the children's creativity shine through. When it came time for the tasting, families gathered to sample the delicious creations. Each dish had a name and a story, adding a rich layer of meaning to the event. As the tasting ended, Lon took a moment to gather everyone around. Today, we've not only baked delicious treats, but we've also celebrated our diverse backgrounds. This is what makes our community special, our unique stories and flavors. Let's continue to learn from one another and embrace our differences. The applause that followed resonated throughout the bakery, and Lon felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. She had always dreamed of creating a space that welcomed everyone, and now that dream had become a beautiful reality. With the success of the Cultural Baking Day, Lon and David brainstormed ideas for more community-centered events. They decided to host monthly themed baking sessions, where families could come together to explore various culinary traditions. Each session would focus on a different culture, complete with recipes, stories, and even guest chefs. As these events unfolded, the Cozy Corner became a melting pot of ideas and flavors. Families from all backgrounds gathered to share recipes and learn from one another, deepening their connections and fostering friendships. The bakery had become a sanctuary where everyone felt valued and included. Meanwhile, Lan's personal life flourished as well. She had found a balance between her work and her family, often spending evenings at home with David and their growing daughter, Mia, who had inherited her mother's passion for baking. Together, they would experiment with new recipes, giggling and creating memories in the kitchen. One night, as they prepared for a family baking night, Mia looked up at her mother with wide eyes. "Mom, can I help with the next Cultural Baking Day? I want to share Grandma's recipe for bonzio." Lan's heart melted. "Of course, sweetheart. That's a wonderful idea. Your grandma's recipe is so special." As they worked together, Lan felt a sense of fulfillment. She was not only nurturing her daughter's love for baking but also passing down family traditions that would live on. The bakery had become a legacy, a place where stories were shared, and generations came together. As the seasons changed, so did the offerings at the Cozy Corner. Lon embraced the idea of seasonal baking, introducing new flavors and ingredients to reflect the changing weather. Fall brought pumpkin-spiced treats, while winter inspired rich chocolate creations. Each season, the bakery was transformed, inviting customers to experience the joys of baking anew. The Cozy Corner also became a hub for holiday celebrations. Lon organized events for Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, each filled with fun activities and delicious treats. The community embraced these traditions, and the bakery became a central part of their holiday experiences. During the holiday season, Lon decided to launch a Giving Tree initiative. Customers could choose to donate a baked good to families in need, and for every donation, the Cozy Corner would match it with an additional item. The community responded enthusiastically, and soon the bakery was filled with boxes of goodies destined for local shelters. On the day the treats were delivered, Lon gathered a group of children from the baking classes. Together, they packed the boxes with love, each child adding a handwritten note of encouragement. The excitement was palpable as they loaded the van, ready to spread joy and kindness. As they drove to the shelter, Lon reflected on how far they had come. The Cozy Corner was more than just a bakery, it had become a lifeline for many, a source of comfort and connection. She felt grateful for every moment and every person who had played a part in this journey. Upon arriving at the shelter, they were greeted with smiles and warmth. The children eagerly helped distribute the boxes, and Lon watched as their faces lit up with joy. In that moment, she knew they were making a real difference in people's lives. With the new year approaching, Lon and David discussed plans for the future. They wanted to continue expanding their outreach efforts and bring even more joy to the community. Inspired by the success of their initiatives, they decided to create a series of baking competitions open to all ages, with the proceeds supporting local charities. The first competition was set for spring, and as the announcement went out, excitement buzzed through the community. Contestants of all ages signed up, eager to showcase their skills. Lon and David organized a panel of judges, including local chefs and previous scholarship winners, to ensure a fair and fun competition. As the event drew near, Lon felt a mix of nerves and excitement. She wanted it to be a memorable experience for everyone involved. On the day of the competition, the Cozy Corner transformed into a lively fairground, filled with laughter, music, and the sweet scent of baked goods. Participants worked tirelessly, showcasing their creativity and talent. The energy was infectious, and families gathered to support their loved ones. As the judges made their rounds, Lon couldn't help but feel a sense of pride for everyone involved. When the winners were announced, cheers erupted throughout the bakery. The sense of community was palpable as people congratulated each other, celebrating not just the winners but the spirit of camaraderie that had developed through their shared love for baking. As the sun began to set, Lon took a moment to reflect on how far the Cozy Corner had come. It had started as a simple bakery, but it had blossomed into a sanctuary of love, creativity, and support. The connections made here would last a lifetime, and she was grateful for every person who had walked through the door. Looking ahead, Lon felt hopeful for the future. With each passing day, the Cozy Corner continued to grow, bringing new experiences and opportunities for everyone involved. She was excited to see where the journey would lead next, knowing that no matter what, they would face it together, one batch of cookies at a time. As the new year unfolded, Lon and David eagerly set ambitious goals for the Cozy Corner. They envisioned expanding their reach even further, incorporating new community initiatives and programs. The success of their previous events inspired them to create a mentorship program that would connect aspiring young bakers with experienced professionals in the culinary field. Lon reached out to local chefs and bakers, sharing her vision of fostering talent within the community. Many were excited to participate, eager to give back and nurture the next generation of culinary artists. They planned a series of workshops where professionals would guide students through advanced baking techniques and offer insights into the culinary industry. Meanwhile, the Cozy Corner was bustling as usual. With each passing day, more families visited, drawn by the warm atmosphere and delicious offerings. Mia continued to help her mother in the bakery, her love for baking blossoming as she learned new skills and created her own signature treats. One Saturday morning, as Lon prepared for the weekend rush, a familiar face entered the bakery. It was Min, now a promising young chef. He walked in with a bright smile and a special request. "Lon, I have an idea for a collaboration. How about we create a special pastry for the bakery that combines both traditional and modern techniques?" Lan's eyes lit up at the idea. "That sounds fantastic. Let's brainstorm together." Over the next few days, Lon and Min experimented in the kitchen, blending flavors and techniques. They decided to create a heritage croissant, a flaky pastry filled with a rich coconut and pandan cream, paying homage to both French pastry traditions and Vietnamese flavors. As word of the new pastry spread, customers eagerly awaited its debut. On the day of the launch, the cozy corner was filled with excited chatter. Lon and Min stood behind the counter, ready to unveil their creation. "Introducing our heritage croissant," Lon announced, holding up the beautifully baked pastry. The crowd erupted in applause and cheers as they eagerly lined up to purchase it. As customers took their first bites, their faces lit up with delight. "This is amazing," one customer exclaimed. "It's like a taste of home with a gourmet twist." Lon felt a rush of pride as she watched people enjoy the pastry. The collaboration had not only created a delicious treat but had also strengthened the bond between the bakery and the community. Inspired by the success of the heritage croissant, Lon and Min decided to hold a monthly special where they would highlight different cultural recipes. Each month would focus on a new heritage, inviting local families to share their favorite dishes. This initiative fostered a deeper connection to the community's diverse backgrounds, creating an inclusive environment that celebrated their stories. As the months passed, the cozy corner continued to flourish. The bakery's reputation grew, and Lon received inquiries from local businesses wanting to collaborate. One day, a representative from a well-known food magazine visited the bakery. Intrigued by its story and community initiatives, Lon was thrilled when the magazine featured the cozy corner in a special edition on local businesses making a difference. The article highlighted the bakery's commitment to nurturing talent, supporting local charities, and fostering a sense of community through food. The exposure brought even more customers through the doors, and Lon welcomed each one with a smile. In the midst of this growth, Lon remained committed to her values. She made it a point to ensure that each event and initiative remained authentic to the bakery's mission of kindness and connection. She continued to prioritize the mentorship program, collaborating with local chefs to inspire young bakers and provide them with valuable skills. The mentorship sessions became a highlight of the month. Students engaged in hands-on experiences, learning from chefs who shared their journeys and offered invaluable advice. Lon saw the transformation in the students. Confidence blossomed as they honed their craft and received encouragement from seasoned professionals. As summer approached, Lon decided to host a community picnic in the park to celebrate the successes of the past year. She envisioned a day filled with food, fun activities, and a chance for everyone to come together. She enlisted the help of the young bakers to prepare a variety of dishes for the picnic, emphasizing teamwork and collaboration. On the day of the picnic, families gathered in the sun-drenched park, excited to enjoy a day of food and camaraderie. Lon set up tables laden with delicious baked goods, and children ran around, playing games and making new friends. As she surveyed the scene, Lon felt a profound sense of gratitude. This was what she had envisioned, a space where people could connect, share, and celebrate their community. During the picnic, Lon took a moment to address everyone gathered. "Thank you all for being a part of the Cozy Corner family. It's because of each of you that we continue to grow and thrive. Let's celebrate our achievements and the connections we've made through the love of baking." Cheers erupted from the crowd as they enjoyed the delicious food and shared laughter. The picnic was a resounding success, strengthening the bonds within the community and reinforcing the values that the Cozy Corner stood for. As the summer faded into fall, Lon reflected on the journey they had taken together. The bakery had become a beloved institution, a place where love and creativity flourished. she felt fulfilled knowing that they had created a supportive environment that inspired not only young bakers but also families who came to the cozy corner for comfort and connection. With each passing day, Lon continued to embrace new ideas and initiatives, always listening to the needs and desires of her community. The cozy corner was a living, breathing entity that thrived on the joy of baking and the spirit of togetherness. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the bakery, Lon and David sat together, savoring a moment of quiet. "Can you believe how far we've come?" David asked, looking around at the bustling bakery filled with laughter and love. Lon smiled, her heart full. "It's beyond anything I could have imagined. I'm grateful for every moment, every challenge, and every success. This is what life is all about." With the warmth of the bakery surrounding them and the laughter of children echoing in the background, Lon knew that the cozy corner would continue to thrive, embracing the spirit of kindness and creativity for years to come. Each day, they would bake not just goods, but a sense of community, connection, and love that would linger long after the last crumbs were gone. As the leaves began to turn golden and the air grew crisp with the arrival of fall, the cozy corner embraced the season with open arms. Lon and David decided to introduce a harvest festival at the bakery, inviting the community to celebrate the bounty of the season. The festival would showcase seasonal ingredients, highlight local farmers, and feature a variety of autumn-themed treats. In the weeks leading up to the festival, Lon collaborated with local farmers to source fresh produce. She envisioned pumpkin spice lattes, apple pies, and pecan tarts, all made with the freshest ingredients. The excitement in the air was palpable as customers eagerly awaited the special event. Mia was especially excited about the festival. She loved helping her mother in the kitchen, and together they brainstormed ideas for fun activities to engage the children in the community. They decided to include a pumpkin decorating station, where kids could unleash their creativity and transform plain pumpkins into festive masterpieces. On the day of the Harvest Festival, the cozy corner was decked out in vibrant fall decorations. Hay bales, colorful leaves, and pumpkins adorned the entrance, welcoming visitors with a sense of warmth and celebration. As families arrived, the bakery buzzed with energy, filled with laughter and the delicious aroma of baked goods. Lon stood behind the counter, serving up warm treats and chatting with customers, while David coordinated the various activities outside. The pumpkin decorating station was a hit, with children giggling as they painted and glued on decorations. Lon watched as families created lasting memories, their joy radiating throughout the bakery. As the afternoon rolled on, Lon took a moment to address the crowd gathered outside. "Thank you all for being here to celebrate this beautiful season with us. We are so grateful for your support and for the wonderful community we've built together. Let's enjoy the flavors of fall and cherish these moments together." The crowd erupted in applause, and Lon felt her heart swell with pride. The festival was not just about the baked goods, it was about fostering connections and bringing people together. As the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the festivities, Lon and David unveiled the centerpiece of the festival, a giant apple pie made with local apples and a flaky, buttery crust. The sight was magnificent, and everyone gathered around, eager to take part in the tradition of sharing the first slice. After cutting the pie, Lon served the first piece to a young girl who had been especially enthusiastic at the decorating station. "Here you go. This is for you," she said with a smile. "Thank you, Lon. It looks delicious," the girl beamed, her eyes sparkling with delight. As the evening progressed, the festival transitioned into a cozy gathering. Families shared stories and laughter over cups of warm cider, and the atmosphere was filled with a sense of gratitude. Lon felt a deep connection with everyone there, each person contributing to the tapestry of the cozy corner story. In the weeks that followed the festival, Lon and David began discussing ways to keep that sense of community alive during the colder months. They decided to introduce a Warm-Up Wednesdays initiative, where customers could come in for hot drinks and enjoy special discounts on comforting baked goods. They also planned cozy story hours for children, where local authors could read their books, fostering a love for reading and creativity. The first Warm-Up Wednesday was a resounding success. Families flocked to the bakery to escape the chilly weather, and Lon created a cozy atmosphere with blankets, twinkling lights, and warm drinks. As children settled in for story time, the laughter and chatter of families filled the air, creating a welcoming haven amid the winter chill. Lon often joined the children during story hour, reading her favorite tales and encouraging the kids to use their imaginations. The connection she formed with them deepened, and she began to notice how much the children looked forward to these gatherings. One particularly snowy Wednesday, Lon noticed a young boy named Tuan sitting quietly in the corner, his eyes wide with wonder as he listened to the stories. After the reading, Lon approached him with a warm smile. "Hi, Tuan. I noticed you really enjoyed the stories today. Do you have a favorite book?" Tuan looked up, shyly rubbing his hands together. "I like stories about heroes and adventures," he said softly. Lan's heart warmed. "Those are great choices. How about we create our own adventure story together next week? You can help me come up with ideas, and we can even make a special treat to go along with it." Tuan's face lit up. "Really? That would be awesome." The following week, Tuan returned with a notebook filled with his ideas. Together, they crafted a whimsical story about a brave baker who saved a village by sharing her delicious treats. Inspired by their adventure, they decided to create a hero's treat, a special cookie filled with surprises, symbolizing the joy of sharing and kindness. As word spread about the hero's treat, customers flocked to the cozy corner to try the new creation. The cookies became an instant hit, and Lon felt a sense of fulfillment knowing that Tuan's creativity had blossomed through their collaboration. As winter settled in, Lon and David decided to organize a community cookie drive. They aimed to bake thousands of cookies to distribute to local shelters, schools, and nursing homes, spreading warmth and cheer to those in need. The entire community rallied around the idea, and families signed up to help with the baking, decorating, and packaging. On the day of the drive, the cozy corner transformed into a bustling cookie factory. Flour flew in the air, laughter echoed, and the sweet aroma of baking filled the bakery. Lon and David watched with pride as families worked side by side, creating hundreds of colorful cookies adorned with festive icing. As the last batch came out of the oven, Lon gathered everyone together. "Thank you all for your hard work. We've created something truly special today. These cookies will bring smiles to so many faces, and that's the true spirit of the season." With boxes filled with treats, families set out to deliver cookies across the community. Lon and David joined them, visiting local shelters and schools, spreading joy with each box they delivered. The smiles and gratitude from those they encountered warmed their hearts, reminding them of the importance of giving back. As the holiday season approached, the cozy corner was filled with festive decorations, and the bakery buzzed with excitement for the upcoming celebrations. Lon planned special holiday baking classes for families to create festive treats together, and the community eagerly signed up. The holiday classes became a delightful tradition, with families coming together to bake cookies, gingerbread houses, and seasonal pastries. Laughter echoed through the bakery as parents and children shared stories while creating delicious masterpieces. On the last day of the holiday classes, Lon decided to host a small gathering to celebrate the season. She invited everyone who had participated, creating a cozy atmosphere filled with twinkling lights and holiday music. Together, they shared a potluck-style feast, with each family bringing their favorite holiday dish. As the evening unfolded, Lon felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. This was what the cozy corner was all about: connection, kindness, and community. Surrounded by laughter and warmth, she realized that they had created something truly magical. As the new year approached, Lon reflected on the incredible journey they had taken. The cozy corner had evolved into a place of love, creativity, and support, enriching the lives of everyone involved. She felt hopeful for what the future would bring, knowing that together, they could continue to spread joy and kindness, one cookie at a time. With plans for new initiatives and events in the works, Lon was excited to see how they would continue to grow and inspire. As the clock struck midnight on New Year's Eve, she raised a glass with David and Mia, surrounded by their friends and family. Here's to a new year filled with love, laughter, and the magic of baking. Lon toasted, her heart full of hope for the journey ahead. the cozy corner would continue to be a beacon of warmth and community, a place where every person who walked through its doors felt cherished and connected. And with each passing day, they would write new stories of kindness, creativity, and shared dreams, shaping a brighter future together. As the new year began, the excitement at the cozy corner only intensified. Lon and David reflected on the past year's successes and challenges, recognizing how much they had grown as individuals and as a community. With the winter months still upon them, they began brainstorming ideas to keep the warmth alive during the colder season. One evening, while sipping hot cocoa at home, Lon had an idea that lit up her face. What if we host a cozy night series at the bakery? We could have themed evenings with storytelling, games, and maybe even some live music. David nodded enthusiastically. That sounds fantastic. We could invite local musicians and storytellers to create a cozy atmosphere where families can come together, share their experiences, and enjoy good food. With renewed energy, Lon and David set to work planning the event series. They created a calendar, filling it with themes for each night, such as storybook night, open mic night, and family game night. The anticipation in the community was palpable as word spread about the upcoming events. On the first night of Cozy Nights, the bakery was filled with twinkling fairy lights, and a gentle hum of excitement enveloped the space. Families arrived, eager to participate in the storytelling session, where local authors shared tales that sparked laughter and wonder. Lon felt a wave of joy wash over her as she watched the children's faces light up. The atmosphere was warm and inviting, filled with the sound of shared stories and the aroma of freshly baked goods. After the storytelling, they transitioned into a fun game night, where families teamed up to play board games, enjoying both the competition and camaraderie. As the weeks went by, Cozy Nights became a staple of the community. People looked forward to each gathering, and the bakery blossomed into a hub of creativity and connection. Each event featured different themes, and local talents showcased their skills, enriching the experience for everyone involved. Mia thrived in this environment, often joining in on the storytelling or playing games with the other kids. She loved seeing familiar faces each week and was even inspired to write her own short story, which she proudly shared during one of the open mic nights. The applause and encouragement she received filled her with confidence and joy. As spring approached, Lon decided it was time to host a Spring Awakening festival to celebrate new beginnings. This event would focus on bringing the community together to prepare for the warmer months while highlighting local farmers and artisans. Lon collaborated with nearby farms to showcase their fresh produce and handmade goods. The festival would feature cooking demonstrations, live music, and opportunities for families to learn about gardening and healthy eating. Lon envisioned activities like planting flower seeds and creating garden-themed crafts for the children. On the day of the Spring Awakening festival, the Cozy Corner transformed into a vibrant celebration of life and growth. Stalls filled with fresh vegetables, flowers, and handmade crafts lined the bakery's entrance, inviting guests to explore. As families arrived, Lon welcomed them with open arms, her heart swelling with pride. The day was filled with laughter, and the air was alive with the sounds of children playing and music playing in the background. Lon noticed how the community had truly become a tapestry of diverse cultures and traditions, each thread contributing to the beautiful fabric of their shared experiences. Throughout the day, Lon hosted cooking demonstrations using seasonal ingredients, encouraging families to try new recipes and embrace the joys of cooking together. The highlight of the festival was a collaborative cooking challenge, where families competed to create the best dish using local produce. The excitement was infectious as families worked together, chopping, mixing, and tasting. As the judges deliberated, everyone gathered around to sample the dishes, sharing stories and laughter over their culinary creations. When the winners were announced, cheers erupted, and everyone celebrated the spirit of teamwork and creativity that had filled the day. Lon felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that the Cozy Corner was not just a bakery, it was a platform for growth, connection, and joy. As summer approached, Lon began planning for a series of outdoor movie nights in the bakery's courtyard. Families could gather under the stars, enjoy popcorn, and watch classic films that brought everyone together. Each movie night would feature a special themed treat inspired by the film, adding an extra layer of fun. The first movie night featured The Princess Bride, a beloved classic that elicited cheers from the crowd. Lon and David prepared a variety of snacks, including Inigo's nachos and Buttercup's butter cookies, which delighted the audience. As the sun set and the stars twinkled above, families snuggled under blankets, their faces illuminated by the flickering screen. Throughout the summer, these movie nights became a cherished tradition. Families brought their own blankets and chairs, creating a cozy atmosphere filled with laughter and joy. Each screening felt like a celebration, a reminder of the connections that had blossomed at the cozy corner. As the seasons continued to change, Lon and David remained committed to supporting their community. They introduced seasonal volunteer days, where families could join them in giving back, whether it was helping at local food banks, participating in cleanup events, or visiting nursing homes with baked goods. The bakery became a conduit for love and support, reinforcing the idea that even small acts of kindness could make a significant difference. The bond between the cozy corner and the community grew stronger with each passing day. Local schools began partnering with the bakery for educational field trips, where children could learn about baking, nutrition, and teamwork. Lon embraced these opportunities, believing that fostering a love for cooking and community in young minds would create a brighter future. One afternoon, as Lon prepared for another school visit, she received a phone call that would change everything. It was an invitation to participate in a regional food festival, showcasing local businesses and their commitment to community. The festival would provide an opportunity for the cozy corner to share its story and connect with a broader audience. Lon felt a mix of excitement and nerves. This was a chance to elevate the bakery's mission to a larger scale, but it also came with challenges. With David's encouragement, they decided to participate. They brainstormed ideas for the festival, planning to showcase their signature treats, share their community initiatives, and invite families to experience the joy of baking firsthand. As the festival day approached, Lon and David worked tirelessly to prepare. They created beautiful displays highlighting the cozy corner's journey, showcasing the impact of their community initiatives. On the day of the festival, Lon stood behind the booth, her heart racing with anticipation. Visitors flocked to the cozy corner's booth, drawn in by the enticing aroma of freshly baked goods. Lon and David shared their story with anyone who would listen, highlighting their commitment to fostering kindness and connection through food. The response was overwhelming, with many visitors expressing admiration for their efforts and asking how they could get involved. As the day unfolded, Lon felt an incredible sense of belonging. The cozy corner was not just a bakery, it was a movement, a reminder of the power of community. Families signed up for upcoming events, eager to be a part of the initiatives that had become so beloved. The festival proved to be a turning point for the cozy corner, bringing in new customers and connections. In the weeks following, the bakery experienced a surge in visitors, and the community initiatives flourished as more families became involved. As summer transitioned into fall once again, Lon and David began planning for their next big event, a Fall Harvest Gala. They envisioned an evening filled with local food, entertainment, and fundraising for community projects that had been in high demand. The gala would not only celebrate the season but also serve as a platform to raise funds for local charities and educational programs. As they organized the event, they reached out to local businesses for sponsorships and donations, reinforcing the idea of collaboration and support within the community. On the night of the Fall Harvest Gala, the cozy corner was transformed into a magical space adorned with autumnal decorations and twinkling lights. Families gathered to celebrate, enjoying delicious food prepared by local chefs, music from local bands, and activities for children. Lon felt a sense of pride as she mingled with guests, witnessing the love and support surrounding them. The sense of community was palpable, and as the evening progressed, they raised a significant amount for local charities. As the night drew to a close, Lon took the stage to express her gratitude. "Thank you all for being here tonight and for supporting our mission to strengthen our community. Together, we can create a brighter future, one filled with kindness, creativity, and love." The applause that followed echoed throughout the bakery, and Lon felt an overwhelming sense of hope for what lay ahead. the cozy corner had become more than a place to buy baked goods. It was a home for connection, creativity, and compassion. As the seasons continued to change, Lon and David remained committed to their vision. The bakery thrived, and their efforts to give back to the community grew stronger. With each passing day, they were reminded that even the smallest acts of kindness could create a ripple effect, touching countless lives. Together, they would continue to nurture the cozy corner, ensuring it remained a beacon of warmth and hope for generations to come. And with every cookie baked and every story shared, they would weave together a tapestry of love, reminding everyone that in a world filled with challenges, the power of community could light the way. As the first snowflakes of winter began to fall, the cozy corner shimmered with warmth and light, reflecting the love and connection that had blossomed over the years. Lon and David took a moment to pause and appreciate how far they had come. The bakery had transformed into a beloved hub of the community, a place where laughter, creativity, and kindness thrived. The Winter Wonderland Festival was just around the corner, and excitement filled the air. Families had begun to prepare their holiday treats, and the spirit of giving was palpable. Lon and David decided to create a kindness wall in the bakery, where customers could write down acts of kindness they had experienced or witnessed. The wall quickly filled with heartwarming messages, showcasing the beauty of community and the impact of small gestures. On the night of the Winter Wonderland Festival, the bakery was transformed into a magical space adorned with twinkling lights and festive decorations. Families gathered to enjoy holiday-themed treats, participate in crafts, and listen to carolers spreading cheer. The laughter of children echoed through the air, and the warmth of shared stories enveloped everyone. As the evening progressed, Lon took a moment to address the crowd. "Thank you all for being here tonight. This bakery has become a home for so many of us, and it's because of your support and kindness. Let's continue to share love, creativity, and warmth, not just tonight, but throughout the year." The crowd erupted in applause, and Lon felt a rush of gratitude. She looked around at the smiling faces, remembering how a simple idea had transformed into a beautiful community. In that moment, she realized that the cozy corner was not just about baked goods, it was about the connections formed, the lives touched, and the joy shared. As the night drew to a close, families began to head home, but not before taking a moment to write on the kindness wall. Lon watched as children giggled while sharing their stories of kindness, parents smiled proudly, and the sense of unity deepened. As the last guests left, Lon and David stood together, reflecting on the incredible journey they had taken. "I can't believe how far we've come," David said, wrapping an arm around Lon. "This is just the beginning." Lon smiled, her heart full. "You're right. Together, we can continue to create magic in our community." With renewed determination, they set their sights on the future. They envisioned more initiatives, more celebrations, and even more ways to give back. The cozy corner had become a symbol of hope and love, and they were excited to see how it would continue to grow. As they locked up for the night, the snow gently fell outside, blanketing the world in white. The lights of the cozy corner twinkled like stars, a beacon of warmth in the cold. Hand in hand, they stepped into the future, ready to embrace whatever came next, knowing that with love, community, and a sprinkle of creativity, anything was possible.